Alright, the Frognarchs decks. One of the few really good decks that the new ban list didn't really affect at all. Like, the only card I really had to take out of it was Heavy Storm. Well, and I had to take out my other copy of M7. Oh, this card's so good. Anyways, there's Double Tragedy, Double Light and Darkness. You never want to run more than 2 of these cards. Gortz, Triple Caius, 1 Firestorm, and Triple Rias. Triple Swap Frog, Double Maxi, 1 Ronin Toad, Triple Treeborn, Double Battle Fader, Triple Evict Veiler, 1 Dark Hole, Triple Soul Exchange, 1 Foolish, Triple MST, 1 Book of the Moon, Triple Enemy Controller, and Double Treacherous Trap Hole. The extra deck, 1 Crimson Blader, 1 Formula Synchron, 1 Gaia Dragon, 1 M7, Photon Striker, number 72, 1 Gauntlet Shooter. There's only 2, right? Yeah. Double Daigastu Phoenix, 1 Herald of Pure Light, Double Gachi Gachi, 1 Dark Mist, 1 Slacker Magician, and I've been trying out number 63. Really like his draw card effect, even though probably just a second Slacker Magician would be better. For this deck, it's all about getting out Light and Darkness Dragon. And even though it's all about getting them out, you still only want to run 2 because 3 is... it's play tested to be bad. So many people who play Frognarchs will agree you never want to run more than 2. Tragedy, Gortz, and Battle Fader, because this deck really doesn't play any trap cards. And that's why you play Double Treacherous Trap Hole. You can't even just take out one of these and add in a 3rd Battle Fader if you want. But Double Treacherous is a better chance of actually drawing into one of them. And you rarely ever draw into both of them. And if you do, well, it's a dead card in your hand. The Firestorm Monarch, I actually really like this card. The 2 best Monarchs are Rias and Caius. And the 3rd best, in my personal opinion, is the Firestorm Monarch. Because you can bring him out even when there's no other cards on the field to target 1 card in your opponent's hand. While with the new Heavy-less Stormat format, you could probably bring in Morbus, the Frost Monarch, instead, since he destroys 2 spell and traps. I probably won't. I'll just stick with adding in more Fire Monarchs. If I think the deck needs more Monarch, I'll add in more of these, not any Morbus. Unless I am out of Firestorm Monarchs to add in, then I'll probably add in this one, since it's probably the 4th best Monarch. Yeah, so I got all the Monarchs. Since the Frog deck, you have, Triple Swap Frog, 1 Ronin Toad, you don't need more than 1, and Triple Treeborn Frog. Triple because your opponent can possibly remove it from play, and you can also use it to activate Ronin Toad's effect. Evict Veiler, I like to run it at 3, most people run it at 2. Maxi, I don't like to run any Maxis, but I only ever use this card when I'm going against competitive people. I mean, in ranked matches, because this deck is so good. And when you're going against other people who are also playing really good decks, they special summon a lot. So Maxi, at worst, is a hand neutral card. At best, you usually draw more than 1. So it's a good card. Soul Exchange, to tribute one of your opponent's monsters to bring out Light and Darkness Dragon or Caius. Triple MST, you usually ran that anyway in this deck. Book of the Moon. The reason Book of the Moon is so important in this deck is to reset Light and Darkness Dragon's effect. Once his attack reaches, I don't know if it's 800 or not. I think it stops earlier now. Because it changes, like ever since he came out, they've changed his effect a lot. So I don't know what it is now. But basically when his attack is really low, he can't use his effect anymore. And then you can use Book of the Moon to flip him face down, since he won't be able to negate its effect. And he has a pretty high defense, so he has a pretty high chance of surviving if he gets attacked anyway, since his defense is 2400. And Book of the Moon pretty much resets Light and Darkness Dragon, so you can use them again. It's really good in this deck, and I'm pretty sure Light and Darkness Dragon is why... Well, actually, Book of the Moon is just really, really good. Because it can be used to stop effects of so many different monsters, and stop them from attacking that turn too. But mainly in this deck, it's to reset Light and Darkness Dragon. Enemy Controller, if you know anything about Frog decks, you know you can use it to tribute Treeborn Frog during your standby phase, steal an opponent's monster, and then summon out Treeborn again anyway, so you have 2 tributes to bring out Light and Darkness Dragon. Foolish Burial, to send either Ronin Toad or Treeborn Frog to the grave, or you can replace it with something else. It's not necessary in this deck because of Swap Frog. but since you don't run any dupe frogs to search out swap frog, it's fine to have that there. And I can't really think of anything else. Gort, since you don't play a back row, and you'll more than likely not have monsters on your side of the field at many points throughout the duel. Same thing with Tragedy, and same thing with Battle Fader, and those are really good cards for special summoning from the hand. The reason you use Formula Synchron is to synchro Vacvealer with either Treeborn Frog or Battle Fader to bring out a level 2 synchro monster. And since Formula Synchron himself is a tuner monster, you can use him to synchro summon with one of your Monarchs. We're all level 6 to bring out Crimson Blader. Gaia Dragon, you can throw him on top of your rank 6 since Monarchs go for rank 6 monsters. The best rank 6 monster is M7 since it uses effect to either return a monster from your side of the field or graveyard to your hand, or one of your opponent's monsters' graveyard or field to their hand. But you probably want to target one monster on their side of the field. So his effect is good both ways. It's painfully obvious why he's limited. Photon Striker, in case your opponent is also playing, a mirror match, he stops Monarchs. This card's great. It destroys one of your opponent's monsters and a trap card. Gauntlet Shooter, just to destroy one of your monsters if you want. Usually you would just run like 2 M7s, maybe a Photon Striker, and then you'd be good, but since it's at 1, that's the only reason I have Gauntlet Shooter in here as well. Plus this is a new card, and I've been trying it out, and it's been doing really well so far. Daigastu Phoenix, because it's a frog deck, so you go for lots of rank 2s. Herald of Pure Light, to recycle Monarchs or Light and Darkness Dragon from your graveyard. Add it back to your hand. It's really good. Gachi, because he's the best rank 2 monster. Dark Mist, just in case. Sinet Magician, Slacker Magician, I think I already explained that. It's with Treeborn Frog and Battle Fader. You go for a rank 1 summon, and when he actually activates his effect, Battle Fader will go to the grave instead of getting removed from play. So you can recycle him if you want with M7 or Herald of Light. But usually you want to use those effects to recycle either a Monarch or Light and Darkness Dragon. And the side deck isn't actually a side deck, it's just things that I thought would be good in the deck.